Hello to all my Kingdom citizens and students. I want to make a quick video on how to fund our tax-free bank using our annual expenses per year. How to use our monthly and annual bills to fund our tax-free bank and create wealth. Is that possible? Can that be done? Yes, it can. Okay, been doing some math and running some numbers. You know how I am about running numbers all the time on my big board on my YouTube channel. I've got a married family, husband and wife, one daughter. They have a tuition bill coming up for their daughter. It's going to be $24,500. Okay, that's to take their kid to private school. All right, and that's a hefty bill, right? So their question to me was, Denzel, how can we do velocity banking on that? So in this particular scenario, they have a HELOC, a little over 60,000 is their HELOC, okay? And they have this bill coming up, 24,500 is the tuition. Simultaneously, we're doing velocity banking, right? And in addition, they want to design their life insurance policy. They want to put it in place, right? At first thought, using the HELOC, we can split our chunks in half, okay? Where we can take 50% of our chunk, put it towards debt, and the other 50% put it towards our tax-free bank and start creating wealth. And then when I went back to the drawing board, I was like, wait a minute. What if that $24,000 bill, $24,500 bill coming up in July. We're in April right now. It's coming up in July. I'm paying off my HELOC. I'm doing velocity banking right now. Okay, so I'm doing velocity banking. Money's going in, money's coming out, cash flow staying in, balance is dropping, saving tons of money. I should be able to zero out the line of credit in their particular situation. We're going to be able to zero out the line of credit before July, probably June. So if we zero it out in June and we design a policy where I can put into the policy more than $24,500 in cash value. So I have to factor in, I have to create a premium, a life insurance expense that would allow me to have a significant MEC that I can place over $24,500 inside of it and have $24,500 available cash value to be able to borrow from. Okay. Now for this particular family, we were doing about 40 to 45K chunks every 4 to 6 months. So if we're doing that from the HELOC, rather than them take that 40K and throw 24.5 at the tuition, pay it in full, and then the other percentage to keep paying off debts, in my mind, I was like, what if we took, let's say 30, okay, maybe 30K or 28K, 30K, 32K, somewhere around that number. We throw it into the policy. Money goes into two places. It'll pay our premiums, and then majority of our money will go towards cash value. We then borrow against that money. We take out 24.5 and pay the tuition in full. So what did I just do there? I used the bank's money to fund my policy, which I then turned around, took that policy, borrowed against it to pay my daughter's tuition. So that money got two uses. None of my own money got two uses. It funded my own tax-free bank, and then my tax-free bank paid the tuition for the school. Now I have that policy loan sitting stagnant. I'm not going to pay it. I'm going to let it sit there. What I'm going to do now is dump all my income into the HELOC. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow little by little, piece by piece, expense by expense over time as I'm building the policy back up. Because what I can do is start micro chunking into the policy, or I can let it sit stagnant, do nothing, all I did was take out that amount to pay the tuition, and I let that policy sit there stagnant, right? Because the beautiful thing is when I borrow money from life insurance, if designed properly, I'll pay nothing in interest. I'll offset my cost when I go to pay it back, because as I have money out, I'm still earning money on all of my money inside of that policy. So as long as I have that designed properly, then I can just focus all my attention on velocity banking over here, right? We took X amount, funded the policy then paid the tuition, our daughter's tuition, and then our HELOC, the other percentage, went towards paying off debts. In this particular case, they're paying off student loans, which is going to increase their cash flow even higher. And then we're just taking expenses out of our HELOC, doing velocity banking for what? 4 to 6 months. 4 to 6 months go by. What do? We chunk another 24.5 into the policy, right? Satisfies the policy loan. We take the money right back out, and maybe we pay our property taxes and we pay our overall taxes for our family. If we do something like that, that'll be pretty interesting. And then 6 months later, what happens? We zero out the line of credit. We pay back the policy. Guess what? Daughter's tuition 1 year later comes around. Do it again. So little by little, we're funneling more and more expenses. Maybe the next year around we do property taxes, our personal taxes, daughter's tuition, and car insurance. We pay that by the year. Little by little, over the years, we're literally using the bank's money to fund our policy, which we are then using that money to pay annual expenses, which have no effect to my income. Income keeps coming in. Where does that income land? It lands in the HELOC, sits there. I pay nothing in interest over there. I pay nothing in interest on the policy. I have this ever increasing death benefit and this ever increasing cash value, all based off my monthly and annual expenses per year. Pretty awesome, right? If you want to get more details on this, hey, reach out to me. I've got a whole team. We're always designing policies. I teach people velocity banking, infinite banking, kingdom authority, establishing wealth. I encourage you all to do your research, do your homework, build some trust between you and I so that we can make that decision going forward to create wealth for our families, leave a legacy behind, and build that kingdom. Amen. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.